I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and we meet in this ungodly hour for an interesting match. Carcassonne Champions League, as usual, migcrack of Spain versus the player with a bit of a mysterious screen name from Taiwan. I can only pronounce it by letters, IVU28STU, or, yeah, no, I didn't mess that up. This is actually correct. I wonder what that means, where that screen name comes from. I know that in Chinese, they very often use numbers for slang, because like very often the numbers are homonymous to something else, so I'm pretty sure it's just a pun, which I don't understand. But anyway, so that player who's relatively new achieved an expert ranking relatively quickly, and they will be fighting in the lower third round. So this is the double elimination system. They each already had one loss, and whoever loses today's match is out of the tournament. Whoever wins advances, so pretty simple situation. Best of 3 match today as usual. But yeah, I also need to point out that today we're having Carcassonne for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As you can see, the 2 other matchups already on the screen today. There'll be a stream about 6 hours from now, and then there's going to be a stream about 12 hours from now as well. So I believe that the game must have started at this point, and yes, it has already started. Both players currently rated in their upper 400, so a bit further from their peak as usual, and you can already see some unorthodox moves being made. So the Spanish player with the patriotic red beeples is ahead on the scoreboard 4-0 as a result of this completed city, and I'm not sure how I'm going to pronounce the Taiwanese player. I'm just going to either refer to the color of his meeples, which is green, or I'm just going to call him Stu, right? Because STU is, you know, he's going to be Stuart now. Actually, although I don't know if it's he or she, but this is going to be their nickname now, because I don't think I'll be able to pronounce all these 8 symbols at the start. So Stuart here has a cluster of monasteries, which were sort of kind of blocked, almost, but still they're going to give a lot of points. And we can see that migcrack here is trying to invade the city of Green, whilst also helping Green to build up the monastery, but it is a Trojan gift, because this city cap is intended to harm this monastery. The plan of Red was to draw some sort of splitter tile that goes here, maybe score some quick points, and make sure that nothing fits into that square, which is why Stuart here is trying to prevent that from happening, restricting that square a little bit further, making it a bit harder to put something over here. So more scoreboard points for migcrack. The Taiwanese player now continues his city at the top and the monastery at the same time, now, which looks like a great move, but it has some problems. Well, first of all, this square is now a little bit vulnerable, but this is very quickly resolved. Very nice defense here from migcrack, so there are now still plenty of curves that go over here, so this meeple of green will be recovered. Well, the critical square is over here, right? So I was going to say that it looks like a nice move, could it add 2 points to his city, but it's not his city just yet. It's still possible for this square to be blocked, but now it won't be blocked as the Spaniard draws a defense tile, and he's now trying to attack on all fronts. So this guy is invading here, this guy is invading at the top, and Red's plan is just to win a 2 versus 1 majority in the city and completely overrun it. So what is Stu gonna do? And Stu is trying to block unsuccessfully, as a Dorito tile with a road is immediately drawn. Some quick points for Stu nonetheless. So at least the Taiwanese player is on the scoreboard, but now we can see a devastating move from Red, covering up the city and not allowing any more attacking opportunities into it. And so now this means that green will just need to await his fate until red draws one of the 3 remaining triple city tiles that fit into that square, which would allow him to complete what I believe is going to be a 28-point city and 2 meeples back. And it will be something that will be very difficult to come back from, but there are some opportunities. Well, I was going to say, what happens if Stu draws all 3 cow tiles, but that's not going to happen, as Mig here not only completes a 28-point city, but also drops a farmer to equalize the farmer of green. And well, it looks like we're having ourselves a very, very one-sided game here. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think this one is gonna be particularly interesting, but you know, sometimes it's just satisfying to watch one side score a lot of points. But yeah, the Spaniard is gonna win this. But still, let's try imagine this. Let's try and dream a little bit. So with the Taiwanese player, how could they come back? I can see something. Yeah, this is one option. Just, you know, continue building a monastery, trying to complete a monastery, and so on. So we should go here now, maybe. Start a new city. Never mind about that square, we just need to run for it. The most important thing is so that we can score points and get some meeples back. Yeah, great move here. We shouldn't really be afraid of this block. This monastery will be blocked, but so be it. But actually, migcrack missed. There was this blocking opportunity and this blocking opportunity, and the Spaniard is trying to block, I think, too many meeples. I mean, the idea is nice, but the problem is that there was a stronger move available that actually blocks the square. Now there are threats in the position, such as getting the road monastery for green. And if you're ahead 36 points on the scoreboard, like, you want to make the moves with the least amount of variance as possible. And so we can see that green meeples even another monastery, which I think could be a bit too much. But let's see if that works out. The road monastery sadly goes to migcrack. Well, sadly for the Taiwanese fans, but also for the neutral fans. Of course, I'm pretty sure the Spanish fans might have something different to say about it. And the monastery goes to the Spaniard, so the 7-point idea is no longer going to be valid. And we can see that the Taiwanese player currently doesn't have meeples, but that's not a big deal. There are plenty of tiles left here to recover meeples, some tiles left here. Yeah, and I was gonna say about some comeback plans. So, wait, what was that move about? Why would he do that? How does this possibly work out? Well, I mean, I definitely like the spirit of Stu here. Just doing anything to accomplish a comeback. And playing really, really risky, and it ends up working out. And I think there's a chance to go further, actually, in that riskiness. Yeah, so this is one way. There's still one Dorito tile left, how we can get a meeple back. migcrack trying to block. Stu now going to defend in a very, very nice way, because now this will leave not 1 but 3 tiles that left to fit into that square. Now hoping for the 3 cows. And suddenly an 18-point city is going to belong to green in all likelihood. And now what green should do, green should go even here, like this, and try to meeple that city as well, because there's still some combos there. You know, the starting tile that goes over here and another horse tile that goes over here. Yeah, I think he really should have tried going for it, trying to complete not 1 but 2 cities, and the chances of that happening are a bit higher than you think. migcrack is just unapologetically starting a road in a bit of a dangerous place, but sure, why not do that? Because I don't think we really have a time to block here. As to, yeah, we just need to finish our monastery, meeple a new road, a bit risky, but risky is exactly what we want in this situation. If anything, I would have preferred him to have played with more risk. straight line here for green. Great chance to continue his road and try to get another meeple back. Yeah, I wish to have seen that city at some point. It's still possible. There's still a couple of Doritos left. So a combo that builds the city right here is a great chance for green. This will also result into a 5-point road going through this square. So there's a chance for green to get, let me think about this. So this city over here, if it is being constructed, 5, 6, 9, 10, 20 points for the city. Wow, that's actually kind of unbelievable. Well, up to 20 points to the city, between 16 and... No, it's going to be 20 points for the city, basically, no matter what. And 5 points for the road. So that's a 25-point opportunity. Well, 27, actually, because he would also be getting 2 monastery points. 27-point opportunity over here, plus a meeple back. Like, unbelievable. It looks unbelievable, but... the Taiwanese player has some actual chances in this game. But I think he might now be a bit too tempted to meeple the monastery, and I think we just need to bite the bullet and not meeple it. Okay, so he goes a different route. I certainly respect it, but you see, now this allows migcrack to go for this city. That's why I really would have preferred this. Oh, look at this, yeah. Now the Spaniard is taking the opportunity that... needed to be taken by green. Look how fantastic a city that is. Yeah, and normally I like the idea of placing even your last meeple at the monastery when you're behind, because you can just build it up so well. But the issue is, like if you have a spot that allows you 27 points for 3 tiles, well then why are you gonna take an opportunity that gives you only 9? Still, it seems that this plan would not have worked out, as migcrack drew 2 out of the 3 cow tiles. The 3rd cow tile, of course, is needed for Stew over here, and then he would need another tile over here. But still, was worth a shot. And what I like about this position is that it just shows that there's always opportunities coming back, slim though they may be. A city cap tile for the Taiwanese player. Whoops. Should not have messed with him, like. Just trying to put it a bit closer. Should not have messed with that. So I do apologize. It is early morning in my time zone. So all my functionalities are not completely restored. It's going to be a very relaxed stream with maybe less insightful commentary than usual, as 2 gets the last starting tile. So at the very least, cutting some damage. This red city will not be completed. Red, whilst I was adjusting my microphone, managed to inflict damage in other ways by completing a 9-point monastery, starting a lovely new ruin with even some chances of completion, a couple of new city threats over there. So a lot of emotional damage is being inflicted. Stew here with a nice blocking move. Not quite gonna cut it. Scoring tile for the Taiwanese player. Probably going to either get 4 points for the road at the top over here, or maybe just get his meeple back, or maybe just finish his 2 monasteries and start to loop road, which actually is the highest scoring immediate move. So I'd probably go for that. Instead, he could actually even drop a farmer there, because we need to be super efficient with our meeples, and quite a painful move again for all our Spanish fans, for all our Taiwanese fans rather, even though Stew will be finishing his city in the center, which was a great effort to begin with. The Spaniard will get this nice insurance points. on the 3-point farmer, which is about to turn into a 6-point farmer. Of course, this tile will be going over here. The only thing that the Spaniard is thinking about is which field to meeple, either the leftmost field or the rightmost field. It appears to be a marginal difference, as I don't believe that this square can actually be connected into the main field. Migcrack here with a straight line, trying to block a little bit. Not that it matters anymore, because Chu won't be completing his monasteries because he needs his meeples for other things. So what can we do? Maybe just a 5-point road, or just another point that I hadn't addressed is that Red used his temporary meeple majority to conquer a 12-point field, which is now thoroughly in the Spaniards' possession. So I'm not sure if there's maybe a way to reinvade that field over here with the standard ninja farmer invasion through the outside of a curve like this with a meeple over here, or maybe the Taiwanese player just going to take some points. So, Stuart, what are we gonna do? That's at least a good thing that he's thinking about it, because, you know, if many players just give up when they're behind, but Green was actually trying to create threats. Yeah, and I believe if we're... and imagine if there were like a green meeple on the city instead of a red one, then we're talking. But we're not talking now, because it's a red meeple on that city. Green will get some nice monastery points. Oh yeah, of course, a 6-point farmer is a nice idea, just to prevent easy invasions, well, easy farming opportunities for Red. Turned out that Red drew a rather inflexible tile, so that wasn't necessary, but still 6 points is something. Stu now can take this 5-point road, about the best that he can do. Yeah, there's no real point in going over here because this farmer is not being connected to anywhere. I think I know what the issue is. I think the Taiwanese player is counting whether there are still Dorito tiles remaining to fit into that square, which there aren't. Yeah, and I don't think actually he'll need to be counting. So earlier on, this was a really nice block by the Taiwanese player, because they realized that there were no more Dorito tiles remaining, so this guy would not be finishing his city. Yeah, and a 5-point road indeed comes down. For the Taiwanese player, 4-point city for the Spaniard in return. And we're going to see in a second what the score difference is. Just under 20 minutes this game, so relatively fast-paced. This is typically what happens to those one-sided games, is because like one side get tiles with which decisions are quite easy, and the other one needs to spend a bit more time trying to suffer it out a little bit. Yeah, look at these juicy ruin points. 9 points for the city, 12 points for the field. That's some extra. And overall, actually, not an abnormal difference. You know, these games in Carcassonne sometimes do happen. Only 32. I mean, only. Of course, it's like a completely one-sided blowout, but still, some chances here for the Taiwanese player. And overall, like, I kind of like how they're playing. You know, I definitely, at this level, I sometimes criticize players for being too risk-averse, but certainly not an issue here for Stu. Have been around the block for a while. Yeah, I called them a newer player because I just don't remember seeing them in the Taiwanese team, and I certainly haven't streamed any of their matches, but apparently they've been at least joining Board Game Arena back in 2001. We're gonna need to check if they were even playing Carcassonne at all. Okay, so this game goes slightly better for green, as they have the starting player advantage. They took advantage of the city cap and got 4 points on the scoreboard. migcrack is trying to build a city at the bottom in response, a shared road now in the center of the board. The Taiwanese player now starts a city cap in not the best spot, perhaps. Immediately gets a bit punished for that, as the road is being connected. The city caps are being equalized, and also this empty city cap in the open is a bit of an issue. Yeah, so a more usual move would have been to go over here and start a new city like this. Green drops a 0-point farmer, which could be double-edged. It's a rather dangerous thing to do, because now, of course, Stu can go over here and try blocking red city, but that would also restrict his own fields a little bit. Yeah, so normally I like early farmers in some circumstances. I even like 0-point farmers in some circumstances, but this looks to be one of those games where green will be placing a farmer, and then green will be placing a lot of effort to try and justify that farmer. So so then sometimes it's better, instead of dropping an early farmer and then spending all this time to justify it, how about we first justify it by building a field and then occupying by field. So it seems to be a bit of an far-fetched way to save a tempo. Yeah, also I was a bit surprised that this road was not meeple, which was definitely a mistake, because look now, this 5-point road is up for grabs, but green is not get punished as he's the one who gets the road. So that's a lovely situation for green here. He's just thinking about the orientation. Of course, he's not going to miss it. 10 points on the scoreboard for the Taiwanese player. And look at this. The road monastery has been drawn, and now this farmer looks like a genius. But there were still other scenarios available that would have made it much, much harder. Red, in the meantime, trying to build up his own city, successfully protected this square. Red is getting a bit of a gift. A double-edged gift. It could be Trojan horse, but it is an extremely risky move from the Taiwanese player. He's now trying to separate himself from the city, and what he'll be trying to do, he'll be trying to block the square maybe, and block out the city completely, but he's not a favorite to do that, statistically, as migcrack does not use this tile for defense. I wonder why. I think red really needs to work a bit harder on saving that city. So now there are only 2 tiles that fit here, only 2 tiles that fit here, so that's already only like a 57% chance. Okay, now the chances have improved as the starting tile has immediately been drawn, but still chances for the Taiwanese player to actually block this square now. And migcrack gets another defense. So it's going to be a very interesting thing to witness. Now, there's still 2 tiles that fit here in the center, but then afterwards, maybe then Stu tries to block this square. But as a result, what could happen is that this city could get so large that even when it's not getting completed, it could justify the loss of 2 meeples. Yeah, so you see, migcrack is now just working harder on trying to finish his city, to pre-finish his city, instead of maybe, for example, going over here and getting the immediate 8 points, because he just realizes that trying to complete the city is so important for his game. So when green dropped a farmer here and separated, that was a very committal move. Like, either we block this city or we probably lose. Although a lot of quick points for Stu, now an ability to share the city, this Dorito actually was definitely a mistake for red. So you normally don't want to add tiles to your city that expose attacking platforms so easily, whilst also helping green with his monastery as a negative side effect. Immediately gets punished as Stu invades all the left. But some quick points for migcrack, and he's finally on the board. Stu with a row tile, and I have no doubt that he's not going to build up his monastery as nice as it would have been. Instead, he's going to go over here and now try to block this square. Oh, he does it differently. Okay, I actually like that. it doesn't work out as Chu successfully, not successfully, I mean migcrack successfully covers up the square, and now there are 2 tiles available that will give red 2 meeples back, and let's count how many points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 32 points plus 3 for the road, so 35 points will be added to red scoreboard if one of these 2 cities tiles are drawn. So 75% chance for a substantial advantage here for green, for red rather. But green can enjoy his scoreboard lead whilst it lasts. Stu is now thinking what to do with this big tile. It probably goes either over here to clean off a city cap on his opponent's field. So over here, I mean, yeah. That's a good move. Another option was to go over here and try to create a winning mini battle against this red meeple. Stu now with a regular monastery. Probably going to go at the top. It's a question whether we meeple this or not. We might, actually. That's not the worst idea. Given that we're kind of behind in this. He could also go over here. Yeah, he decides to meeple a monastery there, which is also a good move, but and it gives more immediate points. I just have a bit of an issue that these 2 monastery guys are separated. Maybe just going upstairs was a bit more efficient. Stu gets his meeple back quite quickly. We can see another 6-point road in the process of creation for the Spaniard. Simply drops a tile, which I'm not a huge fan of. Maybe it was actually okay to just start to loop road, but migcrack really wants to have a meeple in hand for emergencies and also for being able to score 3 points for this road. So it's a shieldless tile, so he's going to be getting 2 points less than expected. So it's a bit of a consolation prize for Stu here, but a 30-point city and 9 points on the scoreboard is the lead for migcrack. So this match could end very, very soon unless Stu finds out some sort of a strong move. And his idea of a strong move is dropping a city cap next to his monastery. It's double-edged because it's a very vulnerable spot. And we can see that migcrack here is giving Stu some chances. So dropping this extremely risky farmer, of course trying to invade through the outside of a curve. But the issue with a move like this is that it can easily be blocked with one of the 2 remaining crossroads. And also, what red needs to realize that red actually doesn't need to attack the field just yet in order to win. Very, very interesting. Ah, look at this. Stu is trying to block the square, and now Stu is going to invade this city. He has to. There's still so many Doritos remaining. There's still 4 Doritos. It's absolutely justified to try and spend your last meeple over here. I think. Yeah, and just the upsides is way, way, way too big. But a great move from migcrack. I think a missed opportunity to drop another farmer here. Because he'd be going over here and setting up a field connection with 2 farmers at the same time. That would have been very efficient and actually quite safe. Because even in the event of a crossroads, he'd be getting himself a meeple into the field. Yeah, so we can see that red is now trying hard to block that invasion square, as he should. Nothing really that Stu can do about it. Maybe just covering up the monastery a little bit, or maybe going over here trying to harass this road, or probably better just here cutting off this farmer from the main field. Yeah, so because this guy can still connect either through the road monastery or through a city cap over here, and it's very important to cut it off and keep it stranded at 6 points. migcrack is trying to block, but Stu does get a defense tile, which of course should not go here. It should go here. This city is way, way too important. It is going to be the game decisive feature. We cannot allow it to get blocked. We need to be patient, and this is exactly what he does. So it was super tempting, of course, to try and finish his monastery, but he does this with another tile anyway. Finally getting a meeple back. The game is so fast-paced, I didn't even have a chance to update the score properly. Yeah, migcrack now connects to the field with extra 4 points, regains the scoreboard lead, and also drops another farmer over here at the bottom to reconnect and equalize the big field. This guy will be stranded at 6 points. Stew here with a tile, which is probably good enough to go here and defend the monastery square. He might even consider about dropping a farmer, actually, trying to connect through the Dorito into the main field. So if you go here, drop a farmer here, then we get a Dorito tile, and then we connect. He decides to simply go for a more indirect approach of defending these two squares, but my approach would have worked. He would have already gotten into the field, but I don't think he doesn't even need to win the field in case he's successful at completing his city. So what we can do now is just probably go over here, prepare our monastery to be completed. But then, what migcrack can do, of course, getting his meeple back is nice, but then later on he can actually go over here and farm in this square. Not anymore, as Stew immediately gets the Dorito tile, and my plan initially was that red could go over here and drop a compensation farmer saying, you know, green, if you complete the city, then you are letting me red into the field through your city. So that's a very annoying tactic, but there won't be enough time for it as a Dorito tile is drawn by Ivy, and he's appears to be slow rolling a little bit. I think actually he was just calculating whether it was worth to meeple that 3-point road, decided that he'll still have an ability to spend his meeples elsewhere, and I'm probably going to get some quick points for this city over here, or will he? There's some other opportunities. I think this move is a bit of a miss here from migcrack. I think what he should have done, like gone over here and trying to connect to the field through the one remaining road Dorito. There's still one remaining, so if you drop a farmer on the outside, it's possible to connect like this, but it's possible that he doesn't see that idea. Or maybe that he knew that it would not have worked out because Stew is the one who drew the tile. Now, of course, a really strong move here is to finish his monastery and join the newly commenced city of Red. Just looking for my beverages here. Hi, Divaka. Hi, Sergey. 9 extra points go to Stew's scoreboard. migcrack now trying to attack the field, which is what he should be trying, but I don't think even winning the field will be enough. Just the scoreboard lead is way too great. So lots of big cities that we're seeing this in this match. This beauty for red, this monstrosity for green. Thank you, Sergey. Krishna versus Divak is something that we have to see, so there will be another stream 2.5 hours from now. You know, I have not put this on my scoreboard yet, but I will. Yeah, so players exchange quick points. Finally, migcrack connects to the field, and he will be winning that field. 1, 2, 5, 6. It will be worth 18 points with 6 completed cities, or rather 21 with 7 completed cities. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, will that be enough, actually? I don't think it will quite be enough. Oh, this game is going to be closer than one might think. Of course, the last tile belongs to Stew. He's calculating whether it's worth to go over here and share the city. The answer is no, it isn't. The strongest move is just taking a 3-point field as he does, or a 3-point city, or any of the many possible ways to score 3 points. And I believe just a couple of points will be the difference. Green will prevail here, but not by as many points as one might have initially expected, just because that field is quite substantial. This is great, of course, for our neutral fans, as this match will be headed towards a decider. Yeah, look at that. So under 10 points is the difference. 9 points only for Stu. It's a very back and forth game, and congratulations to our Taiwanese fans for hanging in there. The third game has been created, not started just yet. This gives us just enough time to try and update this core. Wait. Oh, what did I do? Okay, wait a second. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. We'll be fine. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna have all our things back. Drawings are there. All set to go for the third match. I really just want to take care of that scoreboard first. There we go. So it's a decider. Alright, now back to this. Have they started? And yes, they have. A bit of a slower paced game, as just a couple of tiles have been placed. migcrack should be the one with the starting player advantage. Started a new city, then the standard road with a green meeple, like a thorn being directed into that city, and then some interesting blocking attacks. Overall, this city does not look the most appetizing. A monastery tile for migcrack, a monastery tile for Stu, now ability to equalize. I wonder where he chooses to go. Not many options there. So these monasteries now cancel each other out. 0-0 on the square board. So very, very equal game for now. migcrack with a road tile move, which really doesn't accomplish much, because the only thing that does it adds a point to red, but it also adds a point to green as well. Green wants to start a new city, at the same time getting a monastery point, but a monastery point just for himself. And migcrack dropping, I was going to say a farmer, but actually he meeples a city cap. So this could be a sizable field in the future here. Red pre-builds a 4-point road without meepling it. If I am Ivy, I don't care about the square. I think it's unnecessary. I would probably go for the 4-point road. But we've seen that both players tend to value the fields quite a lot. Ivy now is going to finish his city, start a new one. migcrack continuing his city at the top, threatening a 10-point city with just a city cap. Nothing that Ivy can do about that. Hi, Amiras. Good morning to you too. I know it's a very unusual streaming time. I'm also surprised with myself. So red occupies a 4-point road, just not that road. I would actually have preferred this road because it would have indirectly protected his own city, limiting this connection platform over here. Yeah, so migcrack passes up on a monastery, which I think is not good in this position. Monasteries are they're valuable for the most part of the game, so you don't want to be saying no to those so easily. Just generally, like, life gives you opportunities, you don't say no, you take them. So if the game gives you monasteries, you take them. Sometimes Carcassonne is simple, but migcrack is really going out of his way to block Stu's meeple a little bit. And is it worth 2 monastery tiles? Of course it isn't. But he's getting somewhere as he completes his city, drops a 6-point farmer, and then restricts green's meeple a little bit further. So of course there's still plenty of tile that fit into that square, but red can still go here with some city tiles built around this, or in case he's unsuccessful, the nice consolation prize is that if the city is being completed, this will automatically grant the red meeple entrance into the main farm. 6 points for the Taiwanese player, who, by the way, very nicely managed to impede the development of red city at the top. Now he's thinking of maybe doing that further, or another option is actually to go over here on the other side. Not sure what that move was about. Actually, no, I think it sort of makes sense. So basically, the purpose of this move, right? He anticipates that he's going to get blocked on the square, and so that his monastery is going to get blocked. And this one is creating another blocking platform over here to guarantee that not only the green monastery, but the red monastery is also blocked. Red, in the meantime, manages to continue his city after all, so it's a very threatening 8-point formation that, of course, will grow into something much more potentially, but it is a formation that can still be stopped, so at least 3 tiles will be needed to complete that city, probably 4 in most configurations, and that should give Stu just enough time to invade. But only 1 connection platform available and 1 that he cannot use at the moment, so he will need to first of all figure out a useful placement of the city cap. Decides to simply start a new city. migcrack, in the meantime, with some options, he decides to continue his city like this. There was a better way, I think, just going over here for 2 points and covering up this invasion square without giving back an invasion platform. So Stu, of course, should have spent his last meeple on trying to equalize. On the other hand, if successful, like if green were to whiff on this and maybe just get a roadless city tile, then like Dorito, bam, bam, the city's finished. And Stu is playing with fire here. That's an unnecessarily risky move. Like, you just can't leave the city alone. Last meeple, schmeeple, you need to invade, and we can see in a second why that was so important. Because now red is just 1 Dorito tile away from running away with this game. I'm really surprised about the, like, lack of the threat sensor in some of these situations. Again, like, what? Wait, was that? Yeah, no, that was migcrack. Okay. I kind of, for a second, hallucinated that Stu made this move. No, it was actually migcrack. As Stu continues, completes his city, gets 2 points for the road, but as I told earlier, lets the red farmer into the field. Okay, finally, no, this is migcrack still, and he drops a farmer. Oh, what a move. Trying to complete his road and invade into the field at the same time. Nice find here. I've told on my stream before that these tiles, the extenders, are the worst tiles for field invasion, but this situation happens to be an exception. Just because red does not have a stake in this city, because the city is shared, so red does not actually need to complete this city. Finally, green manages to invade and equalize the big city of red. So the playing with fire sort of pays off in the short term. He still needs to draw one of the 2 triple city tiles in order to connect, but red manages to get his road done, connect to the field, has the meeple majority, has the field control. Red successfully retrieved his monastery whilst green is still having trouble. Red is starting a new monastery now and also opening platforms to play around with his meeple majority a bit more. An invasion square against this city here, an invasion square against this city here. So quite likely that we're going to see a meeple on a city cap here at some point. Stew with a curve, probably debating whether to take 3 points for the road or drop a farmer straight away, opts for the farmer straight away. migcrack just continues his monastery, also opens up a blocking platform against Stew. Stew could defend, and should defend actually, because there's still multiple tiles that fill into that square, and by multiple I mean 2. But the trouble with that move is that this means that this road meeple will need to stay there for a little bit longer, and the troubles of green are not over, as migcrack will be dropping yet another farmer. Excellent platform for farming here, because he will be connecting over here. That's an unblockable connection. So if green wants to finish his monastery, which he does, then he'll be going over here. But this will, of course, also bring reds into the field. And if it doesn't happen, then red can always draw a simple curve here to connect, which he does. Stew with a city cap tile, probably going to take 4 points over here. I don't think we should be afraid of this block that much. It doesn't seem to be worth passing up the points. Yeah, we do need to just get a meeple back as soon as possible. And also, like, if we get blocked here, it's not such a big deal, because the point difference between this 1 point meeple and the 10-point meeple of red is not ideal, but yeah, we can live with that, given the scoreboard lead. And look at that, there's an excellent block here from migcrack. I'm not sure if that's worth an entire monastery, but maybe it is actually. So there are no tiles anymore that fit into that square, because the 2 remaining tiles that I was talking about, they all had a piece of road into it. There are no, all the 4 triple city plus field tiles have gone out. So this is a complete block, and now migcrack trying to steal this big ruin over here. Will that work? As I'm pretty sure Stew will be trying to stop him. Yeah, so interesting route over here. So Stew has a lot of, scored for a lot of quick points. He has the scoreboard advantage, but migcrack is going heavy on the big features. Mini battle over here, that's 9. 18-point field under red's control. Very difficult to reinvade by green. I don't really see easy reinvasion platforms. And of course, this ruin over here for like 12 points or so. Red draws one of the daggers that Stew needed. So now only 1 tile available to fit into that square. Stew doesn't really have too many useful moves, although I'd see something we could go here. Add 1 road monastery point and try to create a blocking threat, which is exactly what he does. An alternative was to just take the 3 points straight up. Okay, that's a great tile for Stew. Now we can go over here and equalize this ruin. That would be our last meeple, but the ruin's pretty big, so that is probably worth it. There's no way to block the square reliably, so we either have to drop our last meeple to connect, which is actually not a big deal. Yeah, okay, so he chooses to take the quick points, rather. migcrack, very close to getting his meeple back, but a dagger tile for Stew. Again, a variety of options. He could free his monastery meeple, or he could still go over here. He takes the quick points here. I wonder what's that about. Why not just take his monastery meeple back? I must have had his reasons. migcrack now successfully connecting to the ruin and even building up this monastery in the process. Stew with some quick points over here, I presume. At least that's what we should be doing. I guess maybe green did not want to get his monastery meeple back just for the sake of not finishing a city on migcrack's field, but maybe that's a bit much. This move by migcrack is kind of risky, so it helps green getting 1 meeple into the field, which of course does nothing for green, because green is still at this 2 versus 3 minority, but it opens up the door for green to try and equalize this field. Not that it is a must. Maybe quick points are enough to win this game, because we have the scoreboard, the monastery, and the quick points, and the long road. and red has the field, the big ruin, and the small ruin. This is actually really, really a lot, but it is Stu who gets all the scoring tiles. So another 3 points will come down for green. And that probably should be, I think this should be enough to take care of business here and deliver a comeback in this match. Because that scoreboard lead looks like a little bit too much. Again, the game is so fast-paced that I can't count the points this quickly. But finally, a bit of something for migcrack too. He gets 3 points for road as well. Straight line for Stu. Now needs to calculate. Does it make sense to invade the field or not? I don't think it does. I think he can just drop a... I'm not sure what he can do. Just make a simple scoring move, like 3 points for road somewhere. Maybe it's good to occupy this field at the top in order not to allow your opponent to get the 6-point field here. Hi, Andres. So, what should we do here? We should count, of course, count all the points. And first of all, see if attacking the field is needed. I don't think it is. And then we should count the tiles. Yeah, and exactly why he'd realize that he can win without the field. Takes simply a 3-point road, which I'm not sure it's the best move because this allows migcrack the 6-point field. Again, this move was actually much, much better. Stu with a city cap, which he can't really use anywhere. Yeah, so a 3-point mistake after all for the Taiwanese player. A straight road for migcrack. Yeah, so instead of the 3-point road, he should have taken this field over here. Then he would have had 6 points instead of 3. Of course, red would have gone here to equalize. So the 3-point extra is what the Taiwanese player could have had with more precise play. Let's see if it has any difference at all. So the scoreboard lead, of course, is fantastic, but now that we've finished up counting the points for green, here comes the ruin for red. A lovely 14 points. Then the field is a boatload, that's 18, and a 6-point field for migcrack. So the Spaniard wins with just 4 points. And with more precise play, Stu would not have won, but he would have at least made it harder. He would have made sure that the difference is just 1 point because he would have taken the 6-point field. And at least he would have given migcrack a room for mistakes. Actually, there was a way to win, I think. So, imagine this. If Stu goes over here and Meeple's a farmer, then when migcrack draws this tile, there is one move, and one move only, that he can make. And this is going over here and taking this 3-point farm. To making sure that when Stu draws a city cap and makes a 6-point farm of his own. I know, that was a 6-point farm to begin with, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think it was a difficult find at all. So the Taiwanese player was losing no matter what. Yeah, so this meant that either he needed more quick points or he needed to somehow fight for the field. Or maybe earlier on just doing something about that ruin invasion, which ended up being 14 points, which is quite a lot for just one Meeple majority. Yeah, real well played here, played by migcrack, and despite all those quick points, winning with the Meeple minority was great. Managed to finish up his 9-point monastery, somehow protected an 18-point field and a 14-point ruin, a 10-point ruin. It just this proved to be a bit too much. So we will be congratulating migcrack, who very narrowly defeats the Taiwanese player with numbers in his screen name. And he will be advancing to the next round, which will be shown to you just in a second. Let me just update the scoreboard to reflect it. And now we're gonna go ahead and look at the bracket. So that is qualification 2-2. rather the second group of the second qualification. I love how convoluted the system is. So, what are we having ourselves? We're having ourselves a bit of a issue. Yeah, there we go. No, Q1-2. Yeah, that's what it is. Because of course Spain is so and Taiwan are so high rated that it's gonna be. No, wait, I got it wrong. I got it wrong. Q1-4. Yeah, that's what it is. No. Okay, I must have messed it up. Migcrack. No, it's not here. I'll take a second here. Nope. Nope. Oh yeah, there we go. So it was Q1-3. So I actually need to correct that on my screen as well. But it doesn't necessarily matter because obviously the name of the qualification groups are interchangeable. You know, the players were divided into groups of 8 almost randomly, so it doesn't mean that this is the first tier and this is the third tier. No, all 4 groups, all 4 qualification subgroups are considered to be equal when it comes to the level of the players, or roughly equal. So migcrack here will be playing against my teammates Norbert's 9-6 in the lower final at some point next week probably, so that should be fun. Of course, you should not expect an unbiased stream there, as I will be rooting for Norbert, and then whoever wins from them will be playing either Mizny of Poland or Secret Star of China, whoever loses this match. So that's about it. And to Stu, we're gonna have to say thank you for their performance, and their spectacular comeback attempts just came a little bit short, and good luck to them next year. Alrighty. And as for other plans of today, we're having breakfast, lunch, and dinner and supper for Carcassonne. So breakfast we just had. Lunch we're having in 2 hours, as the Ukrainian and Latvian masters will be clashing for their tournament life in qualification 3, which is the qualification for international tournament winners. 2 incredibly strong players. I would have to give a slight edge to the Latvian here. But, you know, Divac also super strong, so I would expect a close one. Then the early dinner at 1500 UTC, Polo Verde off Chomps, the final of qualification 4, so whoever wins actually already advances not to the next round, but straight to the main stage of the Champions League. And for supper, for dessert of the day, the main match of the day, Daniel Ayala versus Miami. Well, it's interesting not only because these are 2 strong players, members of their respective national teams, but also because it is a rematch they've played already before, earlier in this qualification cycle. And this will also be again for their tournament life. And for this one, I'm also bringing a new special guest, somebody who you have not seen before, but somebody who's also very good at Carcassonne, and will be offering his insights into the commentary. Alrighty, so I'll see you all in 2 hours. Make sure to like this video if you like this video. For the algorithm, that would help a lot. In case you want more competitive Carcassonne on content like this, make sure to subscribe and to click the notification bell. The last detail is pretty important, because otherwise the algorithm will not suggest you these videos often enough. And thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.